Back in the 1970s and 80s, Kenya's cotton production was at its peak, with output clocking in at 38,000 tons annually. Since then, yields have been dwindling, with an average of 11,000 metric tons of cotton being produced currently against a growing demand.
Cotton was actually introduced in Kenya in the year 1902, and as you put it rightly, it thrived very well in the 80s and 90s. But in that time now you had the liberalization era and then the structural adjustment programs. The government had to link itself from the marketing function that used to be carried out by the Cotton Board of Kenya to now have a board that will do the regulatory role. So when Cotton Board of Kenya collapsed because of those issues, the cotton industry was now taken over by the private sector. The private sector was not very well prepared to undertake that function because Cotton Board used to do the marketing, used to do the processing and the regulatory role. So there was a disconnect.
Cotton in this country, and I believe in most of Africa, is done as a poverty alleviation. In other words, you grow it in those areas where nothing else can grow. So the alternative to these farmers is to sit, and you continue feeding them through food relief. But at least you can assist them to be able to produce some of their needs and so on. And I think that's what we are trying to do.
At the time, Peter Kingo, a farmer in one of Kenya's semi-arid areas where cotton thrives best, witnessed the radical changes.
During the Cotton Board time, the ginneries were collecting the cotton from us, ginning, selling, then they come to pay us. But now, when the ginnery was privatized, we are being paid cash on delivery.
One of the main efforts towards helping this sector regain its lost glory has been through privatization of ginneries and active government involvement.
When cotton collapsed, we had around 24 ginneries working. When we came on board, only 3 were working. We now have 10 working in the whole country. Most of them are private, but we have around 3 or 4 that are owned by the cooperatives in the western zone of Kenya.
After we purchased the ginnery in 2000, we then started completely from the scratch. The farmers had not grown cotton for more than 10 years. They had not even been paid for the cotton that they had sold earlier on. So to get them to go back again was an issue. But eventually the farmers have gone back. We have been able to get them growing cotton. Last year we did about 3,000 bales. And this year we expected more. We may not get that much, but this has got nothing to do with the farmers, but just because of the weather.
Revival of these ginneries is not a cheap affair, considering that the ginning and grading technology is outdated. Uptake of technology is, however, gradually changing, with research firms spearheading the projects through investment in globally accredited cotton grading equipment, which is in turn helping sensitize farmers on the importance of producing quality cotton.
Previously, classification of cotton was done through manual classing, visual inspection of cotton. And because of that, there was some limitation because of subjectiveness of different classes could give different results. This one was not able to compete with international standards. And because of that, the authority or the government has decided to go the automation way, whereby the government has bought a facility which is called high volume instrument. This is the same machine that is being used at US, Tanzania, Uganda, and other countries that have adopted classification of cotton through instrument classification. And instruments classification has got more advantages than manual classification because it gives results for many parameters that will give a clear indication when it goes to the next chain, especially to the textile industries and to the spinners level. So it gives the spinners a clear indication on operations of the spinning, whereby he can be able now to set his machine and avoid wastages of cotton, which could add value at the production level and even minimize cost of production.
Once cotton quality has been guaranteed, the issue of increased production capacities comes into play. The ginners are providing incentives and extension services to farmers such as Peter to motivate allocation of land towards cotton farming.
One of the reasons why I have not stopped growing cotton is because when all the other crops dry, because of the changes in climate, I'm always assured of a crop. Because cotton, you can never go wrong. If you apply the correct agronomic practices, you spray, and when the weather goes bad, even if you don't get 100% of what you're expecting, you're at least assured of a crop. So rather than planting a crop that will not get anything, I better plant the cotton. Then when I sell it, I'm able to buy food. I use it to pay school fees. I use it for my daily upkeep.
In order for the farmer to make money in cotton, I think several things will have to be looked at. Number one is what he can produce in an acre. And that is determined by a number of things. One is, of course, the extension services, but more important is the seed that he gets. Now, we understand that from this year, the farmer is now going to get the next generation of seeds. So we feel with a better seed now and a better methodology, is going to be able to get a better crop. Now, that better crop then, of course, means more money in his pocket and at a price that has been agreed. The other thing that I really think we need to give to the farmer is some kind of comfort that the price do not change, keep on changing. And this is an issue we have raised with the government. Elsewhere, they create what they call the stabilization funds, so that at least you are able to tell the farmer, come July, August, September, when I'm buying the cotton, I'll be able to give you 40 shillings. Now here we can't, because we are subject to this international variation in prices.
Despite the turnaround prospects, the sector still faces a skills gap and financing challenges.
One of the challenges is knowledge about the quality of cotton. Some people think that cotton is cotton, and once you harvest cotton, it has to go to the ginnery. The farmer, I get my money, and that's all. But if you look at it deeply, it means that at farming level, the farmer has to employ good agronomical practices from planting, spraying, weeding, and even harvesting, because all these stages contribute to quality of cotton.
We have reached out to financiers who we have developed a private-public partnership. They're able to link up with us. Actually, CODA is oversees the contracts and this is that farmers are provided with the credit. We have a credit product for farmers that we have developed with Equity Bank, and we are reaching out to other banks. We also working closely with Agricultural Finance Corporation, who have worked on a financial product for the ginneries.
As the country looks to industrialize into a middle-income economy by the year 2030, Kenya's cotton sector is one earmarked for growth.
Cotton as one of the key flagship projects under the Economic Pillar of Vision 2030. Normally, usually because it has a long value chain, and in that there's opportunities for job creation. There's also opportunities for income earning. When we look back in the 70s, 80s, when it used to be doing well, cotton used to be the second employer to the public service. But we are now, things happened and we are now not doing very well. But the good thing is that the infrastructure is there. The farmers are there. We are now into irrigated cotton farming. We have revived the irrigation cotton farming in Bura and other schemes. The ginners are there, and we are now modernizing. The spinners are there. So we say this is just a giant waiting to roar. We have all it takes. We have the local market, both public and private, and then also the opportunities in the regional and the odd market. So this is a crop that we see contributing immensely to the development of this nation.